Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to have a full house. It's great to see everybody. We are here tonight to announce the winners of our Preservation Awards. And I first like to open the meeting. I do have a little bit of business that I have to do. I have to read this announcement, so bear with me. This is a regular meeting of the Montclair Historic Preservation Commission. Notice has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by posting a copy of the notice on the first floor of the municipal building and by sending a copy to the Montclair Times, the Star Ledger, and the Herald News. Roll call. Kathleen Bennett here. Jason Hyman. Here. David Greenbaum. Here. Stephen Rooney. Here. Carolyn Kane-Levy. She appears to be late, not here yet. John Reimnitz, Jenny Gillette, Graham Petto, and Joe Angelo. Pardon? Is our new attorney, and he will be late. So we will have the approval of the minutes after our awards, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow commissioners, Jason Hyman, Jenny Gillette, John Reimnitz, Steve Rooney, and David Greenbaum, because we take our job very seriously. I think it's been a reinvigorated Historic Preservation Commission, and historic preservation hasn't always had a good name in this town. But I think now, when we drive around and we look at the built environment that we have, it's very exciting to see some old buildings and some old buildings that are really coming to life. Not as exciting to see old buildings, but also to understand that people are actually working. We have 2 Preservation Service Awards today that deal with not specific buildings, but with people really working to preserve our culture and our community and different communities within our community. So that's very exciting when you realize that historic preservation doesn't necessarily mean buildings all the time. But we talk about new buildings, we talk about old buildings, we talk about rehabilitating and restoring old buildings in order to make them work for today's people, for today's lifestyle, because buildings they can't be stagnant. They have to change, and they really have to become appropriately workable and livable for today's families, for today's people, for today's businesses. So it's really, really, really great to see everyone here, and I think we have a wonderful array of awards. So I will be doing half of the awards, and my co-chair, Jason Hyman, will be awarding the other half. So with that, I'd like to tell everyone that we have 3 different categories for awards. We have a Bricks and Mortar Preservation Award. That will be the first thing that we talk about tonight. And the Bricks and Mortar Preservation Award recognizes excellence in the preservation and restoration of historic buildings, interpretation of architectural features and compatible design in new construction, and adaptive reuse of historic structures. Judging standards include architectural integrity and compatibility, successful adaptation or continued use of a historic structure, quality of construction, craftsmanship, and/or technical excellence. So the first person that I would like to call up to the podium is, let me see if we're in. The first people are Willow Street Partners for the rehabilitation of the Georgian Inn. And we have Kevin Costello here tonight, and we have Paul Sionis from Sionis Architecture. Sorry. And thank you. Great. Paul. So this has been a project that's been a long time in the making, a few years, I would say. How many? 6. Oh, I was going to say 3. But if you haven't been in yet, certainly drive by and take a look. I think that what has happened there has really been a true benefit to the community. I think Paul's work on it and Kevin's work on it has been exceptional. And the other thing that's so great to really see when you drive by is the detail. Look at the detail that's on that building, from the dental moldings, the copper gutters, copper leaders, the Yankee gutters, and even the landscape that's gone on, I think is fabulous. And the other thing that I really like is the balustrade, because that balustrade, half of that had really fallen apart, basically. And what they did is they took pieces of the original balustrade and reconstructed new ones to make it align. But you can actually tell where the old ones are and the new ones because there's a very, very difference in coloration, which is really exciting to see. So thank you again. And I think, do you want to stand here? I don't know. We want to take a picture with.
Sure.
I don't know. I should shake your hand, maybe. Maybe at the end we'll call everybody back up. Yeah. We'll, oh no, maybe
We'll come
not.
back for pictures.
We'll come back for pictures. We'll tell.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the second person I'd like to call up is Timothy Bray. Nice to see you. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mr. Bray has done a restoration of a house at 107, correct?
107 Claremont. Yeah.
107 Claremont. And you should really take a look, drive by and see that. It's a little bit west of Grove Street. This project did not come to us for approval or recommendation. There was a project that Mr. Bray was doing on the street behind. But once we saw what he had done to this house, we knew that it was really award material. And no, it's great to see. And I understand this is the second house you've rehabilitated
Yes,
in
I did
Montclair.
one on James Street last year that was similarly in somewhat rough condition, and
Right.
we really took it back and opened up porches that had been closed in, given away some interior space, but bringing back some of the charm of a beautiful exterior octagonal porch, and just trying to take it back to the way the original architect had envisioned it,
Right.
and adding a few modern touches on the inside along the way, and a deck on the back, and some modern things. But
Right.
kinda-
And I'd just like to mention that Mr. Bray used the vintage photos from the library,
Yes.
which was great to see. And so I think that now, with people working together and having these resources available and knowing how to really use them, I think has been really beneficial.
Yeah,
So,
having the old photographs was very helpful.
Right.
Reconstructing the porch and bringing it back to the way it was originally designed.
right. Well, thank you. And I also want to mention that this is a residential unit, a residential house. And so we have a commercial building that we have, which the Georgian is now a boutique hotel, but also a residential home. So we hope this sets a precedence for other people to do
Hope
as
so
good.
too.
Yeah.
It turned out great, and thank you for recognizing that. A township full of beautiful homes and full of owners who are very conscientious and very, interested in that sort of thing. To be recognized is an enormous honor, so thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So do you want to do a preservation scene? Okay. Our next category is Preservation Service Award. And this award recognizes outstanding achievement in and support for furthering the aims of historic preservation in Montclair Township, including research, development, planning, advocacy, and local community leadership. Individuals, businesses, and organizations are eligible. All nominated individuals must live or work in Montclair. All nominated businesses and organizations must be primarily located in Montclair Township. And as I said before, we actually have 2 awards for this category, but I will be presenting the award for researching your home's history. And this award is going to the Montclair History Center and also the Montclair Public Library. Do we have the History Center want to come up? Yeah. So we have Angelica Diggs from the Montclair History Center and Molly Holm from the Montclair Library, yes, and
Elizabeth and Kate Hines from the
that's right, from Montclair History Center. And this was a collaborative effort between the library, the History Center, and also the HPC. And what we do, because it's an ongoing collaboration, is we meet at the Montclair Library, which is great space. And Angelica usually drags over a big tax map that's about yay big. She can barely get it through the door. And then HPC members are there. So there's a member from each entity there. And we actually show people who sign up, and it's been overflow. If people show up, and we let them in anyway. But people are really interested in researching their homes. So between the township's interactive map, which is on the township website, between the resources that are at the Montclair History Center, which includes the tax maps and the directories and photographs. At the library, we have tax maps, we have the vintage photo, and we have the deeds. What do they call those deeds? Deed abstracts. And when everybody signs up, Molly takes their name and actually finds the block and lot and starts off everyone that's there. So from there, it spans out into searching for your home and your home's history. So this has been so successful. We had 7 in 2016, correct? We've had 4 so far in 2018, and we're going to start it up again in the fall. So let me present this to you two, and this to the public library. Thank you so much. And if you have a home in Montclair, this is a really fun thing to do. Go onto the library's website or onto the historic center's website, history center's website, and you can find when the next one is scheduled for. We don't have a date yet, but I'm sure it'll be. Oh, we do have a date?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out which day would work.
Oh, okay. So if you do that, make sure you go in and sign up soon, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you. Yay! And Jason Hyman, our vice chair, will now present the 2 other awards.
So this next award is also in the Preservation Service category, and it's going to the Montclair Rotary Club and the family of Dawn Miller and Mr. Frank Gerard Godlowski. We're recognizing them for their collaborative effort to preserve Montclair's history by permanently installing a copy of Montclair native Don Miller's The Martin Luther King Freedom Mural for local viewing at the Montclair Public Library. And this is a really special award because not only does it highlight the significance of a great Montclair resident in Montclair, in the Montclair Public Library, but I think it was a timely effort, recognizing something of national significance. The full mural, of course, is in Washington, D.C., and it really is a national treasure. So we're very proud of this award, and I have 3 certificates if the recipients would like to come up.
Thank you. Jason, I just wanted to clarify, this is the maquette, not a copy of the mural, so it's Don Miller's original painting that he planned as he planned the mural, which hangs in the National Library. It's 75 feet long and about 8.5 feet wide. The maquette is in our library on the 2nd floor for your viewing, and that's, about 15 feet long? But it was his actual plan, original,
The working model.
the working model.
Thank you. Sure. That's okay.
That's okay. Well, go ahead, go.
Come on.
If you can see the camera.
We were honored to have this project. Frank brought it to the Rotary, and we were really honored to be part of it. It's a wonderful family in town, the Miller family.
Yes, it's an amazing,
Yes.
and also, we're trying to find the footage of Gil Noble's Like It Is. There's an episode that he actually recorded in Montclair, and Rosa Parks came to sit for her portrait. And several other of the individuals in the mural came to Montclair, Mr. Abernathy, and figures from the civil rights movement. And that was quite a moment of American history in Montclair that, you know, we're really trying to get it together to find that footage. But it was broadcast on television in Gil Noble's Like It Is, and as you might know, Gil Noble was also a Montclair resident at the time. So, you know, that's like a really important piece of American history that happened here in Montclair. And it was at 180 Bloomfield Avenue in a
This-
building that was a dance hall.
It was his studio
Yeah, that's
in the
where it was.
70s, early 70s, right?
That's where it was created, and I'm so proud. And Don Miller was, you know, a fellow Cooper Union alumni, and you know, this is something that's very important to me. You know, friends with my parents, and that whole moment of civil rights is just like such important history that we're honored to have here in Montclair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then do you want to stay up for the next award? Okay. And the last award of the evening goes to the Preservationist of the Year. This award recognizes extraordinary contributions to the better understanding of the township's history and the preservation of Montclair's historic architectural fabric. The individual will be recognized for furthering public education of the town's history and promoting its historic preservation through major projects, undertakings, offices, or positions held, and the duration of the nominee's significant accomplishments. And this award this year goes to Miss Jane Eliasoff, the Executive Director of the Montclair History Center. She's being recognized for her passion for history and commitment to listening and sharing all voices in Montclair's history in the programs and initiatives she's implemented at the Montclair History Center. So, thank you very much. Would you like to say anything?
Geez, thanks. Thank you. This is really quite an honor. Montclair's just got such a rich and diverse history that it really is a joy to be telling the story. The people that I've come to know working in this position are just remarkable people, from the people I work with on a day-to-day basis, as well as the people I've met through the town. And I just want to thank you all for honoring me with this. I appreciate it deeply.
And if all the award recipients could just come up for a photo op. So yeah, we'll have all the award recipients up front, and then we'll kind of squeeze in the back.
You want the podium in here? Come on. Try to slide it out. That's a good roll. I want the little girl in front of it. We got tall enough people.